Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what led me to leave physical security and get into cybersecurity, specifically more on the red team offensive security side of things. I'm also going to talk about what I actually saw, been through the years, especially during COVID, and also just tell it like it is. You might have rarely or possibly not even heard some of the people on LinkedIn or other platforms speak about this. But however, I'm speaking mainly on where I'm from, where I worked at, California, specifically the Bay Area, San Jose, Redwood City, San Mateo, San Francisco, etc. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into this. So, like I said, what drove me away from physical security to get into cybersecurity? Just to touch on some history, I've been doing a lot of this stuff since I was in high school, my junior year. I started the summer before my junior year. I believe that was 2000, summer of 2000. I got into this stuff by doing people's DirecTV and Dish Network cards. This was booting them up, get all the free channels. I also helped out when I was smaller from a couple friends, uncles that used to do the pirate box back in the day. For those that know, there were those black boxes. You get those HBO and Showtime were 27-28, pay-per-views were 30-31, and then 32-33 were the porn channels. Back then it was Playboy and I think it was Hustler or some shit like that. So that's where I started my dabbling in. I've always been doing it on the side. I was more of a hybrid role as I got into physical security for the red teaming, ethical hacking stuff side of things. But as far as my physical security background, it actually started in workplace services. Physical security was under workplace services, real estate, facilities. Those are the three they branded depending on the organization. So once physical security started to grow into its own department, that's kind of where I morphed. It had operations. They were having the GSOC. They had investigations. Certain companies had forensics, executive protection, and then technology. Towards the end of my career, especially at which was technically Box, I was doing the technology side of things. And then also I would help out with executive protection, some events. I did one event, the big one was BoxWorks, and then helped out in some investigations. And then also helped out assisting some of the guard forces as well. So back to what I was saying, what led me to leave? Number one was, I'll just keep it 100, the blue politics. Cops can't even do their job. So what makes you think a physical security person could do their job? You could go into a store and steal up to $950, I think it is, in the Bay Area at least, and not get in trouble. I think they're finally cracking down on it now. But a lot of people talked about retention, why people are leaving physical security, whether it's mainly from the guard force, whether it's at these companies or retail. Why are you going to want to work at a job where you're going to get fired for doing your job and fired for not doing your job? So, and also if you do your job and get fired, there's a good chance you're going to be arrested and have to go to, jail, trial, etc. Hence, that also happened to me working as a bouncer. I came back out to help my friend at Los Gatos Bar and Grill. This was back in 2017, 2018. 7, 8 young kids, and everything's on video, were, they had the big Grey Goose bottles. I think 5 out of 7 or 8 of them had them ready to swing at me. And I was trapped in a corner in the hallway, 2 bathrooms on this side. I pulled out my knife. And for those that know me, I don't mess around. I'm come from the old school bouncer days where you say something stupid, you're going to hit in the fucking mouth. That's just straight up. That's how I am. Now I'm more calm. I give you this 2 chances. After that, I'm hitting you with my left hand. You're going down for sure. So, I took out my knife and I told him straight up, we go, you guys are going to hit me, but 3 of you guys are going to get your fucking neck sliced open in the jugular. So flip the blade open, let them know I ain't messing around. Sure enough, the main dude that went out first after everything got, de-escalated, his dad was a corrupt cop from Los Gatos PD, and his mom worked for the DA department or team or whatever from Santa Clara County, which number one should have been dismissed. But it wasn't. So I had to get an attorney and all that stuff. And I was in the process from being subcontracted out from PG&E into Apple. So I had, they got me for brandishing a weapon, misdemeanor. They weren't going to touch me with that. So pretty much with that, I had to get a lawyer. She was actually the lawyer of the San Francisco 49ers girlfriend when they had that altercation. I didn't know at the time. My options were to go to trial. Everything would be dismissed. I didn't want to wait because, again, I was getting ready to go into a new job. So pretty much I had to pay a $750 fine, and I got an infraction. It's like pretty much a speeding ticket. So those kind of politics where you can't even defend yourself, even at work when you're supposed to defend others. And mind you, these dudes beat the fuck out of women. Girls that were dancing together and bumped into them, they beat the shit out of them. And I had to pull them off. Yet that was also on video by the DJ booth. And I got in trouble for it when everything was on video. So again, why would you want to do a job like that? Why would you want to work at a Target, a Macy's, an Apple, a mall, work in a company in tech industry where people could just run rampant, start harassing people, whatever? You get them in a full Nelson, drag them the hell out of there because you don't know what these people are on, what they have, what their intentions are. They might be acting stupid to get to an executive, right? Social engineering. And you get in trouble for doing your job. At Box, we had an incident with a dude who was old school, older than me, doing his job. No one's allowed in COVID. You can't bring kids. One dude was a subtenant. So he apparently said he was a subtenant, didn't have his badge, parked in the garage, which was a no-go during COVID, brought his kid in, started banging on the glass, and he got fired for doing his job. So, and I was pissed off, and I spoke up for him. I said, that was the most stupidest fucking decision you ever made. And that's how I talk. That's how I talk then. And that right there, that happened at Box. The decision happened in 2019, August. But that decision right there was not only to I got to get the hell out of physical security. I got to get the hell out of California. I got to do it. So pretty much, that the politics, not just in law enforcement or government politics, it affects law enforcement, but it also affects the mindset of the tech industry. You got idiots that are so politically blind, are so blind that they'll follow anything. They're so emotional, they don't think logically. They want to do the whole utopia, rainbow bullshit, and they're blind. So when something happens, you've got a lot of people that are, call them social justice warriors, that are, anti this, anti-cop, anti-this. But when something happens, who's the first person that they call? The cops. Who's the first person that they call when they need something at work? Like they're in danger. Physical security, if they have that number, they're going to call the guards, the GSOC, etc. Now, when that happens, why am I going to want to do my job? Because I not only could get fired, probably will get fired if I have to de-escalate and some nut job is out there or some knucklehead. Again, speaking from California, knucklehead's a banger. What are you going to do? Now, if you beat the shit out of him or de-escalate and he gets hurt, not only are you going to get fired, you're going to get arrested. So why would you want to do that job? It just makes no sense to me. So pretty much that's what led me. That was the big kicker that pushed me out of physical security. And yeah, it sucks because, and again, I'm only speaking on certainly RAND-colored cities and the Bay Area, California. I'm pretty sure New York's the same way. I've done a couple site visits there at offices, but I don't have the length of time that, living there or being a resident there to even speak on it. So I'm only, again, speaking from California, specifically the Bay Area. So with that being said, that also there's no value in doing your job. Like, you get all these egotistic police officers in the military. Mind you, I'm ex-military myself. I don't brag about being in the military. I'm not saying I'm not proud of what I've done, or I just don't want the free handout, right? I don't want me to get put in front because I joined the military. There was no gun in my head to join the military. I did it on my own. I don't use the benefits. I didn't join for benefits. I joined when I was older. Same thing. I don't put, I wish I could just put I'm American. I'm not Mexican. I'm born in America. I don't want a free handout because of my color. And I actually left Lab 126. I walked out day 5, day 6, quit. because I was a statistic because of my skin color. I'm not playing that game. And a lot of people in California, they don't play that game either. The ones that are actually born and raised there, that's a whole nother story. I'm not even going to get into that. But again, there's no value in doing your job. You're doing a job that just keeps the machine going and going, especially on the technology side. All you're doing is maintenance, upkeeping. I mean, after a while, there's only so much you could do. Again, everything has killed physical security, in my opinion. So there's really no value in doing a job unless you got a company that's really growing. You're doing a lot of build outs, possibly some key integrations at the time. But after that, you're just maintaining, keeping the machine going. With that being said, the future of physical security, the way technology is now, technology is going to be obsolete, meaning it's all going to be AI, machine learning, AI driven, possibly even handled by the cyber teams because they're all IoT devices now. That's probably not going to happen in the next 2-3 years, but possibly 5 to 10 years, that's where it's going to go. It's all going to be all self-driven. The only other aspect of physical security is going to be executive protection, operations, events, and guard force. So that's pretty much going to be a silo where it breaks off. The silo meaning the executive protection ops guard force piece, if there's even guards left with all the Android technology coming out nowadays, that's pretty much where it's going. It's kind of like facilities in real estate, right? Once the work from home and you show that people don't really need to be at the office, there's really no need for all these buildings and campuses. It's just a waste of money. And, I don't see the big issue with it. That cuts cost, not just from a real estate standpoint, but you also got food, chefs, guard forces, all kinds of stuff where you just could cut a ton of costs working from home. But that's neither here nor there. So pretty much those three things are the key things the three key things that led me to leave physical security and go into cyber. Cyber's growing. There's going to be multiple hats in cyber that are going to be evolving, meaning multiple roles, departments, jobs. The way technology is, it's going to take away jobs, but it's also going to make a lot of more jobs. So that means you got to stay relevant. You got to be ahead of the curve. You can't stop learning. You can't get comfortable. For me, I don't believe in motivation. For me, it's all drive. The days you're sick, you have the flu, you have COVID, you got to get up and grind and work. You can't take a day off. That's just, I don't know, it's just me. And you not only got to be worried about the younger generation hungry to take your job, now you got to worry about how am I going to add value over AI, machine learning, et cetera, right? So now you got to be ahead and create different skill sets from, let's just say, ethical hacking, offensive security. Right now, I want to learn multiple niches within that realm: RFID, NFC, IoT, payments, biomed, or biohacking. So I want to learn all those to add to my skill set and show and what kind of value I could bring and provide to an organization. So that's pretty much where it's at. I mean, physical security too, you can only go so far. Especially on the technology side, I had to dabble into, Splunk, learning APIs, integrations with Workday, learning some of the backend stuff, the databases, SQL, Secure, Linnell, all that stuff's ran on MySQL databases. So that's pretty much where you have to go. You got to go outside of physical security in order to gain more knowledge. Like I said, pretty much it's Axis, cameras, Genetech, Milestone software, possibly a Vigilance number 3, and then you got the AMAG, Secure, Linnell. I mean, once you master all those, I mean, nothing really changes unless that, it's going to be more of a cost unless you get some new fancy license plate reader, some new glass break, gunshot detection, which is going to be rare for a company nowadays. So unless you're getting into all that, you've got a company where they want to grow their physical security, it's going to be hard to even learn. Like I said, you're just stagnant. You're just keeping the machine going, keeping it maintained. So for me, it was time to step out. I wasn't growing. I wasn't learning. Again, I did stay at GoPro because I was comfortable. However, I did have a great team. And and I didn't want to leave that team. So team matters too as well. However, for those that know, GoPro tanked, unfortunately, and pretty much for the most part, we're all gone now. So that's that. I just wanted to share why I left physical security for cybersecurity. Again, this is not trying to be political. This is just telling the facts on how it is. Especially me, born and raised in Eastside San Jose. So I've seen from the good to the bad to the ugly. So please comment, like, subscribe, share. Let me know if you feel the same way working in certain areas in California. If you were from physical security, real estate facilities, or workplace services. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone. See you next time.